Hey crafty fam, it's Alex Vanover and welcome back to my craft room. In this video, I'm going to show you how to sublimate on a polyester apron. Now this is a project from the DIY Alex Summer Party Mystery Box that I did with 143 vinyl, but if you didn't get that box, don't worry. I'm going to link everything that I used in this video below. So let's get started. So to start with our sublimation project, first we're going to choose an SVG, right? Or excuse me, in this case, I guess it's a PNG. And I chose this really cool King of the Grill design that I thought would look really awesome on a grill apron. So I already purchased it and downloaded it, and then I'm just going to open it up in my computer's default Photos program. And so you guys may or may not realize that when you do sublimation designs, they must be flipped 180 degrees or mirrored, if you will. So I don't need to bring it into Cricut Design Space for that. I'm going to show you how to do it just using the basic programs on my PC computer. So in the Photos default program, I'm going to click the drop-down menu and select Edit. And then within Edit, I can actually use the flip button right here, and I can rotate it or mirror it so that it's going to stay flipped. So then I'm going to save a copy to make sure that I save it flipped. And I'm going to save it in the same folder as my original file and just call it the same thing, DB, which is Design Bundles, King of the Grill _ flipped, so that I remember, and then choose Save. And then I'm going to go up to the print button. And from here, I can just adjust the settings that I need to use. So I'm going to keep it portrait size because I want it to be about 8.5 inches in this direction. And then I'm going to just make a couple minor adjustments. So I want to make sure that I do shrink to fit because if I do fill page, the sides of the design get cut off. So I want to make sure that they're set to shrink to fit. For the photo size, I have it set at full page, which will make it about 8.5 inches wide or so. And then I like to use premium presentation paper matte as my paper setting. And let's see if I can change any other settings. It's in color mode, borderless printing, and I think we are good to go. So then when you're ready and you have your paper loaded, and one more thing, we have to make sure to choose the sublimation printer, not my regular inkjet printer. Then when I'm ready, I will hit print and print out my design. So to get started printing on your sublimation printer, I am using my Epson ST2000 for this project, and I'm going to be using A-Sub sublimation paper. So when you're getting ready to print, first you need to load your paper into your printer, of course. And then we need to ensure that our printer settings match what we set on the computer. So I know this screen's really small, so you guys can barely see it, but the first thing that I am doing is confirming that I have premium presentation paper matte. So I'm just going to click OK to confirm it. And then you may have to confirm the size if you haven't printed in a while, so that just depends. So once your settings are confirmed and your paper is loaded, you can go back to your printer and click print. And once your image is printed, we're ready to move over to the heat press and sublimate our apron. The settings that I'm going to be using for this project were recommended by the A-Sub paper that I'm using. So I have my heat press set to 400 degrees, and the time range was 25 to 40 seconds, so I chose to use 35 seconds. So to get started with my project, first I'm going to put down one layer of butcher paper, underneath my apron. And then I'm going to put my apron down on top of that and do a quick lint roll in the area that I'm going to be applying the design. Then I'm going to situate my apron onto the press, and I'm going to pre-press it to remove any moisture. And the pressure on my press is set to medium pressure. So I just did about 5 seconds there. And then we can go ahead and apply our design. So I'm gonna apply it with the ink side down on the apron. So that means when I look through the paper, that since it's flipped, the image should look correct. Then I'm gonna move it up a little bit, there we go. And then to prevent any other issues, I'm gonna use heat resistant tape on the sides. This is Cricut brand heat resistant tape, but you can use any brand you want. And I really need to get a tape dispenser for my tape. And then with this paper, I always have a fair amount of blowout, which is just ink that comes through the paper. So I'm also gonna put another layer of butcher paper on top to protect my heat press. And then I'm gonna press this entire design for 35 seconds. And then as soon as things are cool enough to touch, I'm gonna go ahead and start by removing my paper. And then I'm able to remove my design. Oh my gosh, you guys, look how bright and gorgeous that is. This turned out so fun. I just love how this apron turned out. As you can see toward the top, I did get a little bit of unevenness up here, and I'm guessing that's probably because the seam at the top made the pressure a little bit uneven. So definitely some things that I can do better, but overall, I'm so happy with this apron, and I can't wait to use it for my summer barbecue. If you make anything using my tutorials, whether it's an apron or something else, and you decide to share it out on Instagram, be sure to use the hashtag DIYAlex because I love seeing what you guys are crafting. And if you've made it this far in the video, then I really want to get to know you on social media. So please be sure to find me at DIYAlexVanover on pretty much all major social media platforms, and I'll be sure to drop direct links down in the description below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more just like it, then be sure to subscribe to the DIY Alex YouTube channel and be sure to ring the bell so that you get notified every single time that I put out a new video every single week. But don't wait for next week's video. Be sure to check out this one next. Or if you want to make your DIY dreams come true, be sure to check out this video. I know that you're going to love it.